Hey everybody, welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. And we got some great items. Got some great items today. Some no-name items, and I really hope this helps everybody in trying to identify these items, find these items out there. Sometimes it's just the material they're made out of. Sometimes it's the quality they're made out of. You know, it's very, very hard for me to tell you and explain to you exactly. Like when I pick something up, I know this is worth money. I know I can sell this item. I'm hoping that it comes through in the pictures, the way I'm explaining it. The title structure is really, really important. Try to get these items sold. Trying to use as many descriptors or, keywords as possible. And because all this stuff is just laying around out there, and I'm finding it and I'm selling it and we're making money. I was out today and got some great items. Well, today, I got out late too as well. I had a lot of stuff to do. I had a little bit of a small little conference call with with eBay, and I don't know how much I can talk about, but I do have a meeting. I'll be meeting with them next week. So that'll be kind of cool. Little meeting with some reps and other sellers as well. So that'll be next week. I don't know. I might bring you guys information if I can. If I can talk about it, I'll let you guys know. If I can't, then obviously I'll tell you I can't. So, but guys, I mean, we're out of Goodwill today. And look at this. This stuff is just. I mean, I got out there late. I was there about 12:30 or so. And they already open at 10. All kinds of resellers. There's all kinds of resellers in my area. There's tons. I run into them all the time. We're like, hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? These people are everywhere. And look at this thing was just sitting there on the shelf. It's a Jim Shore piece. So Jim Shore typically sold like at Hallmark, these kind of items. Really cool piece here. We picked this one up for $11, so a little high, but it should sell somewhere between 30 and 40 bucks. Hopefully closer to the $40 range because it is, a Thanksgiving Day themed item. Not so much Halloween. As you can see, I got turkey right there. So, really cool piece. Hopefully we get this sold pretty quickly because Thanksgiving, can't get the holiday right, is upon us. Nearly upon us. I mean, is Halloween next week already? Yeah, it's next week already. Dang. Then what else did we find? Okay, we found this really cool little designer purse. This is My Flat in London. Really cool. This should sell probably around $150 to $200, and I picked this one up for 30 bucks over at Goodwill. So this was just laying there on the shelves. This was sitting there with all the other Coach. I bypassed all the Coach, and it was just too overpriced. The Coach typically around $30 to $40. I went to the higher end Goodwill boutique area. The Michael Kors, the Fossil was priced. Fossil was priced at $44. I'm like, Michael Kors is priced at $44. It's just not, and this was just sitting there, and I saw it, and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. It's got the bag charms already here. This is actually made by Brighton. If you've heard me talk about Brighton before, but just a really cool, nice. Leather canvas. It has that doctor bag kind of opening to it. As you can see, it has the typical tag in there, like many other, like Coach has, like Brighton has. But really cool purse just sitting there. You got to be able to find these unique, unusual brands that are out and about because the Coach and everything, they're priced up. They're priced too high, based on what they resell for. It's the Coach just all over the place. Coach, Louis Vuitton. Those things are everywhere now, so people have them priced up accordingly because people know the names, and then their resale value isn't really what they're selling them for. I can't make any money on it, so you gotta be able to find these other brands that sell incredibly well. And let's see, that's what this show is all about. That's what my channel is all about, trying to find these cool, unique items you can resell and make money on. Primarily on eBay is what we do around here. I do sell on other platforms. I'm probably going to go back over to, let's see, I'm off Mercari for sure. I'll probably go back to Posh just to kind of, I'm definitely looking at Bonanza as well too. But now that Posh has gone back to normal fees, maybe, we'll get our sales back over there. And I like to, pretty much put all my clothing items, shoes, on Poshmark. So we'll see. We will see. Let's get into the what sold really quick. Jump into this. Okay, first item here. And the first item right off the bat is a no-name a no-name belt. There's nothing, there's no brand, nothing of this belt. Um so really nothing really to go on. A lot of listing, a lot of finding items starts with a brand. You find a good brand name like Jim Shore, like Coach, like Disney, Lego, and then you roll from there. But trying to find items that, if they have no name, typically, the advice would be leave it behind. But there's still value in these items. So check out the title right here: woven leather. So it was woven, woven leather belt. Women's 34. So it did have the size on there. So it's a size 34. In the description of this, I measured it out. So I have the actual length in inches as well. And then concho. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right or not, but it is. Oh, let me pop up the other picture. Okay, but I'll show you what the concho is. But black, silver, the color of the pieces there, and then of course we're using the Southwestern and Western in there as well too. Two very important keywords. If it has that style or look to it, then use them. They're very good at helping to get some of these items sold, especially like belts as well too. So let me pop up the other picture and I'll show you what the concho is. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not pronouncing that right, tell me in the comments. My English is not very good. I had to work very hard when it came to English class, math, science, piece of cake. I didn't have to study for those. But when it came to English, I really had to work hard, study hard, asked for help, and then I got through it. Actually, I got through it pretty good with A's, as a matter of fact. A side note there, a part of some of the English classes I had, we did have to do some acting, and I got actually rave reviews for my acting, and the teachers really wanted me to join into plays and stuff in high school, and I was like, plays? You want me to do plays? I gotta do plays. But this is the content. So is that round little? Is my mouse on there? No, the oval shape here. It's really more so the oval shape. Sometimes these could be sterling silver, so definitely look out for the sterling silver. You'll find this in a lot of Western wear, Native American wear. Keep your eye out for them. It's incredibly popular. If you find a belt with these on there, definitely you want to put that keyword in there. Sometimes you'll have turquoise, and that's not fake turquoise. So definitely, you could use turquoise as a color if you don't really know. But make sure you state that you're unsure if it's real turquoise. There's a lot of fake turquoise out there. And it's very hard to identify to the untrained, what exactly, is the actual turquoise rock and what is, sometimes I think it's called howlite is what they use, which is, they just color it. It's not, turquoise. And then, there's also just straight up fake plastic or, glass colored turquoise. So okay, so that's pretty cool belt. I gotta tell you what my phone. What did it sell for? The most important part, because if it only sold for like it only sold for like $1 at the end. If you spent $5 on it, I only sold it for $2. That doesn't make any sense, right? What did it sell for? It sold for over $20. I remember that. It sold for $22, and the shipping was $8.44. This was definitely over 1 pound, and this went in a padded poly bag. A little bit of bubble wrap to wrap it up and secure it. So really cool piece there. Definitely keep your eye out for these. Also, too, the quality of the leather as well. It was very thick. Very nice quality for being a no-name brand. Sometimes the name can't. I have found the guy from El Paso, from my parents' hometown. I forget his name. Does a lot of Western wear. Can't remember off the top of my head right now. But sometimes, like, I found the belts from that designer, and it's very faint, very kind of hidden. So definitely inspect it. I inspected this really well. There was no maker's mark on it, and it was really well made. So really cool. Definitely, you know, if it's really thick, nice leather, that can be a good sign that it is sellable. So really cool piece. It's out of here. Now another item, which was this was definitely a lot easier to describe, as you can see. Miley Cyrus, Miley World VIP member fan card, pop music, memorabilia. So there was another one listed. None sold, if I remember correctly. One listed, um, and I think they wanted like $20 or $25 for it. And I was like, you know what? I checked their listing out. Poor quality, very poor quality listing as far as the title structure, as far as the item specifics they put in there. I was like, you know what? I know this will sell. And as a matter of fact, I got this in a wallet at the flea market. It was in a Hello Kitty wallet that I got, which I already sold the Hello Kitty wallet. This was in there, and I'm like, you know what? I bet you this will sell. And sure enough, it did. And this one sold for, I remember this one. This one sold for $18. And not only that, the shipping was pretty cheap. They didn't pay. I don't remember. I don't pay shipping. That's the buyer pays the shipping, but it definitely will help you. Yeah, if you have low shipping, it'll help you make sales. $1.25. So I shipped this via the service that you would use if you're selling just individual sports cards. I forget what it's called exactly. I can't remember. But they give you have to put it in a standard envelope, and they'll give you a little you get a little label which kind of looks like it has the address up in the corner, address in the middle, so it kind of looks like a standard envelope is what it looks like basically. And then you just slap that label on your envelope, and you send it on its way. So that's pretty much for individual cards. It's not. Yeah, it's not for, you can't put padding in there. It can't be more than 0.75 inches thick, if I remember correctly. I think it's 0.75 inches thick is the maximum as far as thickness goes. So bubble wrap in there. Once you put bubble wrap in there, they won't even take it because it's got to go through all their machines and everything. So that's why the shipping's so cheap on this piece here. But it's just a little card, like a little credit card almost. So really cool. I can't, $18. Someone bought this and shipped out, and Miley Cyrus VIP member card. Look out for these cool pieces of memorabilia. I'm pretty sure if a Taylor Swift issued some sort of member card, VIP card, that would probably sell right now because Taylor Swift's, is incredibly popular. Maybe other ones from past years might do really well. Any, membership card, fan club, memorabilia, Selena. If you have any Selena stuff does pretty well. Has a very, very big following. I've sold the makeup before, and that does incredibly well. So yeah, VIP member card. Miley Cyrus. I found this in a wallet at the flea market. Sold the wallet, sold the card. So that was pretty cool. Okay. Let's close this. I got to close that first. Let's close that out. And then another one here. Here's another item. No name. There's no branding, no nothing on this. These are aluminum coasters is what they are. How do I know it's aluminum? Well, I've worked with aluminum in the past. I've cast aluminum before, made aluminum castings. So I am familiar with the material. It's super lightweight. It's very, very durable. Like you can't really bend it, but it has a very light weight to it. And then you can polish it up like this. So I just kind of recognize it because I worked with aluminum before. I made things from aluminum, molten aluminum, which is it's kind of crazy. It's really, really hot. You got to be very, very careful. But I've done castings before, so I'm familiar with a lot of these materials, the way they look when they're polished up, the way they feel. So when I found these, I was like, these are cool. These are gonna sell. And what do they sell for? Let's see. It's our coasters. They sold for $26.84. It probably went somewhere pretty close because this was in the £2 range. $7.43 is what the shipping was, and this went in a 6x6x6 box. So really cool set of 6 vintage aluminum coasters. Right, no name in there. I don't even know if it's really vintage or not. But who's gonna tell me it's not vintage? And you've heard me talk about vintage in the past as well too. There's the vintage police out there who say it's got to be at least 20 years. Well, that's just someone saying that. That I think I forgot who exactly said. Someone had mentioned it who has some sort of authority in used items, and they just happen to say 20 years. We'll say 20 years is vintage, but in reality, it doesn't matter. So, and no one's gonna prove me wrong on this. Just like I didn't put it in the title, but I did put it in the item specifics and made the USA. Again, who is gonna dispute me on that? Nobody, because there's nothing to go on that. So vintage aluminum coasters, mid-century modern. So it's got a very mid-century vibe to it, and I threw it in there because I don't know. I was kind of thinking, that whole kind of retro. If you guys saw the Fallout TV show. What was it, on Amazon or so? I mean, I played the games before, but the TV show, Fallout. You got that like retro kind of. That's why I put retro in there too. That kind of 60s. Taking off to space for the first time. Kind of everybody wants these retro stuff in their house. They have this vision of the way the future is going to look like. That's why I put mid-century modern, retro, home decor. If you got any decor pieces, or any pieces of decoration, you definitely want to put decor. Decoration, you could. Decor has been pretty successful for me in using that one. Vintage aluminum coasters, mid-century modern, home, set of 6, and silver because they're silver colored. So, great pieces here. Great item to sell, almost $30 on just some aluminum coasters. All right. What's next here? Now we're getting into some, a little bit more, easier to list, name stuff here. But this is, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but Karopi? This is one of Hello Kitty's friends. Now, I remember back in the day, I'm talking about the 80s, 90s. We used to have a Sanrio store in one of our major malls here, and they always had so many cool little things, erasers. I always remember they used to have like these buildable characters of erasers, and they were, Japanese characters, robots, and pencil cases. And one of the places I really, really like to visit because I was, I was into stationery and stuff like that. So, and they always had plenty of this stuff, and they had all these characters. Hello Kitty, this Karopi. They had all these different characters, and it's remained popular. 80s since when I was around, 80s, 90s, and it's still popular to this day. So this is a Sanrio. Is the brand, and then Karopi, Hello Kitty. I threw Hello Kitty in there because Hello Kitty friend is a friend of Hello Kitty. This is the characters in Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty is a part of Sanrio, but it's one of the friends, so which is why I used it in there. Stuffed animal. It is a throw blanket. I believe this came out of a Target, if I'm not mistaken, so it's not old by any means. And what did it sell for? And this was a very easy shipper because it just goes in the poly bag. It's there's nothing breakable about it. It's a plush animal and a blanket. So $35.78, and the buyer. Oh yeah, this must have been really really close because the buyer was $6.33 on the shipping, and this just goes in a poly bag. So really really cool. Keep your eye out for. I mean, Hello Kitty is incredibly popular, but some of the other characters, the side characters, the friends, they do sometimes better than Hello Kitty themselves, herself, itself. It's a cat. Okay, next item up is... Here we go. We have a Arca. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Swift leather case. Now, the brand, I was like, oh man, this is a really, really nice leather case. And I didn't know what it was for exactly. I knew it was a, what do you call it? I picked it up and I was like, oh, I'm familiar with this kind of. I know this has something to do with a camera. I had no clue exactly what the case was for, so I had to Google image it. And it came up with a case for a C1 Cube. And I was like, all right. And I just did a little bit of research really quick just to make sure, because sometimes it can pull. You got to be careful when you're using Google image. I saw someone the other day on YouTube using Google image to identify an item. And it told them that it was a very expensive crystal, baccarat crystal. It was not a baccarat crystal, but Google image told them that because some person used baccarat to describe that piece when it was in fact not baccarat. And you got to be careful. I come across this quite often where somebody had misidentified the item and Google image will automatically recommend that item as the one I'm looking for. But you got to just do a little bit more research. You can't necessarily rely on, on other people's listings, no matter what platform it's on. Can't really rely upon that 100%. You got to still do your due diligence, do more research on it, and just make sure that the Google search is correct. Because when you go to sell it, and if you're just using someone else's information, you can get a return. You might get a Vero. You might get who knows? So to cover yourself, just double check everything a little bit, because Google image, while it's really, really good and a great tool to use, double check it to work. Remember, it's relying on people. It's relying on data. I did a my AI thing. AI, like I said in my AI thing, AI is not here. This is not AI. The information it's pulling is relying upon data that people are putting in. So if people are putting in incorrect data, it's going to give you incorrect data. So be very cautious. So I had to go in. I double checked everything, and sure enough, it was for a C1 Cube. Another person had this listed at $150 on eBay. 0 sold comps. 0. There was nothing listed. Nothing sold. Listed, yes. Nothing sold. I was like, there's $150. Yeah. So if you had the actual, piece of equipment that goes in this, yes, $150, $200. I think it was like up to $300 sold. Obviously, this was just the bag. I listed it for... I didn't know what to list this at, really. So I listed it kind of high. I thought it's $60. And I figured it'd sell somewhere around the $50-ish range. But someone shot me an offer for $40. And I took it. Actually, you know what? It was kind of weird because they sent me an offer. Wait, what did I really... Yeah, let's say for $60. Really, really kind of unsure. I knew it wasn't going to go for $150. I knew that exactly. I figured it's going to go for somewhere around the $50 range. It's a very well made case. It's incredibly well made. The leather is really great. The stitching is amazing. It's almost like a designer purse, in my opinion. So, which is why I was kind of justifying the $50-ish is what I was looking to hopefully get. I listed it. About 3 or 4 hours later, I got an offer of $40.01. I was like, I only spent $4 on this, $4 some change. Perfect. Accepted. Accepted that offer. I was like, that's some good profit right there. And boom, it's gone. Gone. What did they pay for shipping? I think the shipping was a little bit high on this one, if I remember. Why don't I see the shipping? Oh, $9.02. That's probably somewhere East Coast. Yeah, that's East Coast for sure. And this one in 6x6 6x6x6 box. So really cool. Keep your eye out for it. If you find any of these cases for this brand for their camera equipment, that can still sell pretty well. So really cool. Really cool items here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please like the video, thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below, and we'll see you in the next one.